Look in my eyes for my mind state. I'm on the grind 25-8. Money on my mind, that's how I play. If you got it now, this what I say. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait.
Yo, what it do? It is episode number Jordan 23, y'all.
23.
Yeah. Hey, Jays. In effect.
Days on my feet, you know it. Days on my feet. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The crew is in here. We doing live. We doing big things. Episode 23, Swerve City Podcast. You know where you can always watch the episodes. YouTube.com/Swerve City Podcast. And pledge on the Patreon. Patreon.com/Swerve City Podcast. We doing big things. We got Austin Theory up in here. What a dude. Look at the IG Livers as well.
I'm here, yeah.
And
IG Live.
Look at this newest edition, donated from the Johnson family vacation over here. The monitor. We got a Swerve City monitor. Look who's on there. Oh,
man.
Yeah, Austin. Level up, level up, level up.
Hey, who did that graphic though?
The wizard himself.
Showed it.
Hogwarts wizard himself.
Behind the scenes.
Mike over here. Did the big things over there, man. Yo, I'm always in a good mood when we have podcast day. I get to see my family, I get to see my friends, and as you can notice, the crew is growing every time we step up in here. We got all the X over there on the secondary visuals over there. So we got these extra little. If you've been checking out the YouTube page, of course you have. You've been seeing the little uploads, the little 8-minute clips, the 3-minute clips, the 6-minute clips, the little side extra content that's been done by my man Mike over there, or Mike X over there. Mike's been doing the whole kit capoodle, you could say.
The kit capoodle.
Poodle. I say poodles.
All right. That's a first. That's a first. I never heard that.
That is a first. Yeah. So what's been going on over here, Teasy Scott?
Man, ain't nothing, man. You know, another day, another dollar at it, man. I'm happy to be here. Another great podcast day on Jordan 23. I'm feeling good, man. Just feeling right. We did some hooping today, got some exercise in. We went out and shot some jumpers, and I'm feeling good, man. Got some goals I'm doing for my fitness, and I'm really feeling good after that basketball game. I was like, okay, I'm getting back.
Low key, Teasy got a nice little midi.
His
His jump shot wet.
Yeah,
like Aquafina wet. That thing is like water.
I'm glad you ain't say the Sonic, because don't nobody like that.
I still got it. They say the last thing that goes is your jumper, so I still got it.
That and the Sonic water.
I still got it. You know, we just left the studio. We working on some new music. My bro Swerve over here got a built-in studio. You know, we have some Patreon content for you guys to see that his built-in studio that he's building here, so we can save the 15-hour drives every other week and work on our own stuff.
Yeah, but I'm still going to be sessioning with Sean T. Shout out to T out there, man.
Absolutely. And shout out to him for all the guidance and stuff, working on the music. And that's it. Just to stay building, staying working, and these working on the next album. Got a lot going on. Make sure you guys go to youtube.com/Swerve City Podcast. That's how you spell it for everyone who always asks how you spell it.
No, I'm not going to the banner no more. I'm going to the image.
And that too.
The imagery right here, man. Look at this. The effects.
And that too. So that is it. What's up with you, Swole?
You know, everything's good in the hood with me. I'm closing on my house. So yeah,
okay.
First house. So this is great. That's been doing that. You know, being mom, slowing things down. Being a teacher. That stuff is hard. Look, I just want to say big ups to all the teachers out there, because man, the patience, it takes a lot of patience to deal with your own children.
Imagine other
people's kids. I mean, can't spank them, can't whoop them, can't sit in a timeout, can't do none of that. Luckily I can to mine. But yeah,
child rearing.
Yeah, spell the rod, spell the child. It's in the Bible. Read about it. That's what I'm doing.
Oh, it knows. But without further ado, before I get to Austin Theory, I always gotta say shout out around Seattle. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the sponsorship. Thank you for the banner, the lights, the curtains, everything, like the mics. And now we moving on to monitors. Man, but without your help, without starting us off, having that base to get to where we are now, to get to bringing in Austin Theories, WWE Raw's Austin Theory.
Oh man.
In a faction that doesn't even have a name yet.
Yeah, there's some secret names though. We do have names.
Did y'all narrow it down to like 5 names?
We got a lot of names.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all secrets.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yet.
I'm gonna leave it at that. Without further ado, we are going to go over here to from Georgia, Austin Theory. What's going on, fam?
Well, we're still all stuck in quarantine, but you know what? I'll be honest. These home workouts are getting really old.
Never lie.
I'm getting a little frustrated at home, you know, sometimes, but we're gonna keep pushing because we know those gyms are coming. They're coming back.
When you look like you ain't really worried about the gym, man. I'm just saying. Like, shoot.
Yeah, but you eat a slice of pizza and be all right.
Right. Brother can eat a whole pizza. And then a whole pizza the next day, you'll be fine.
Oh man.
Take off till 2021. Shoot, you'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, what's been going on, man? Like, how's everything been going since since WrestleMania? Just a little quick shoo.
Yeah.
Right here. Well, like, the last time I seen you, we faced each other on NXT. Next thing I know, you're on Mania.
Yeah.
How, Sway?
Dude,
How did that day, talk about that day.
that whole day, well, actually, I remember I was doing like a leg workout on like a football field.
Of course you were.
You know, of course. Austin Theory's always working out. But, yeah, they called me and they were like, hey, we want you to come film main event. And then I was like, okay. So I get there and the main event the actual match gets cut. So now I'm just like, all right. They're like, just come back tomorrow and film it. And I'm like, okay. So show up the next day, film main event. I'm like, hey, you guys need me for anything else? They're like, nope. So I go all the way home, get a call. Hey, you need to come do Raw. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then we do some Raw. And then right after that, they're like, hey, you're on WrestleMania now. I'm just like,
They must have liked you.
yeah. I'm just like, all right.
But you already had that, you already pretty much had that little relationship or familiar, how do you say this word? Familiarity?
Familiarity. That kind of messes me up.
Yeah.
Familiarity.
Familiarity with Paul Heyman when you did the arena show in Philly for the WWN and Evolve title.
Yeah.
So talk about your meeting up with Paul Heyman then.
Yeah, it's so funny because when we did have that, that show on the Independence with, and Paul Heyman showed up, he told me before he left, he said, I'll be seeing you very soon. And I didn't know that would be WrestleMania 36. So, yeah, but, people ask me, like, how'd you feel? Like, were you nervous? But honestly, man, I feel like you get nervous when you have time to, there it is. Wow.
Bam.
It's great. There it is.
That match right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at that ball.
Yeah.
Mike the GOAT.
But yeah, man, like people were asking me, or like, are you nervous for this? Like, but it happened so quick. I didn't really have time to get like all like worried and oh man, what if this goes wrong? What about this? Like, there just was no time to think. It was like, yo, just go do what you know. So
I always say it's like, you know how to ride a bike. Now ride a bike on Raw.
Yeah.
Now ride your bike at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
ride
that's
your
all
bike
it was.
in front of like 10 people, 10,000 people. Ride your bike in front of no people. Like, just go out there and ride your bike.
Yeah.
That's how,
I wonder
in my
if,
mindset.
I wonder if I still can ride a bike.
When was the last time you rode a bike?
God.
Can you fit on a bike?
I know you can lift a bike, but can you ride it?
I don't know, man. I think that's like, that's not me on a bike, but
No.
maybe we have that. Maybe can we show me on a bike? On a bike. Just pull up the ET poster and just crop my head on there.
Pop 'em on there.
On a bike. Funny thing, on the last graphic, there's only one person on that image that has not been on this podcast.
Really?
Yeah.
Who was that?
Garza.
We're gonna call him out. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Can you do it in Espanol?
Oh man. I think our Spanish viewers are gonna be disappointed in me.
Did you take Spanish in school?
I did, and that's I really
when you
wish you hadn't
graduated
asked me
yesterday?
that. Okay. So now we got the young jokes too.
Oh,
I did. I took.
this material.
I took 2 years of Spanish in high school, and I walked in there and
Yo, fam, everybody that do classes in high school end up forgetting.
Hey, man.
I held on to a lot of it for some reason.
I don't know.
I forgot it all, yo.
Yeah.
I don't remember none of it.
When we started going to Mexico, man, like I kept a lot of it.
You did?
And it helped, yeah.
Man, I only remember torta because that was food. That's about it. That's all I got.
Millennials.
So that's all you need, bro.
That's it,
Look,
dude.
look.
That's it.
Phrases, man. That's all you need.
Yeah.
Gym, food. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm good.
Garza.
Honestly,
Ven aquí.
yeah. You need destinations. Salidas. Yeah.
Destinations.
Yeah. Let's talk about your childhood, man.
Okay.
Like, growing up, how was it? Growing up in Georgia, born in Georgia, raised
Yep.
in Georgia.
Yeah.
What part?
It was in McDonough specifically. It's I used to think it was McDonald's when I was little.
I thought you said Madonna.
Yeah. No, McDonough. It's got a C in there.
So it's a mix of McDonald's and McDonald's.
Yeah. Maybe there's some history with McDonald's there.
That's scary.
I don't know.
Let's not go into that.
Yeah.
Me too. Keep going.
Yeah, I lived there for probably like 10 years, and then I moved to little parts of Georgia, but obviously like Atlanta, that's got to represent the ATL. So, but yeah, man, like I was just always somebody that I still tell people to this day I'm just that kid that never grew up, and they're like, how does it feel? Like even when kids ask me, I love it. They're like, how does it feel to be on Raw? How does it feel to be on WrestleMania now? I'm like, exactly how you would feel if you got told right now that you were going to be on.
Yeah, I think it's good to still keep that feeling. That means there's still magic in
exactly,
what we do.
Yeah.
And when you lose the magic, you might as well not do it anymore.
Right.
That's when you got to take yourself away from it. As long as you keep that magic, man. Like in anything, music, you got to keep that magic.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because when you start seeing the magic tricks, you're like, this isn't as it's not as special anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, man, when I was 8 years old, I seen wrestling for the first time, and from that point on, I was like, yo, I'm doing this. And I had people all the time say, when you're about 16 or 17, like you're going to grow out of it. And I was like, yo, I feel the same as I did when I was 8, even now, like I don't know, it's always made me feel comfortable. Like I remember I was never somebody that traveled out of state alone. And when I started doing that, because on the independents, that's what you do a lot. I mean, obviously in WWE you do, but when you're doing it on your own and you're not signed anywhere, you got to make the sacrifices and go all the different places and stuff. So for me, I was like, yo, I wonder how this is going to feel, like not being around my family. Like, am I going to feel, like I need to go back home, but this is really what I want to do. But I remember like specifically, I think it was one of my first shows. It wasn't too far from home, but it was North Carolina. And I remember seeing a ring, and I was just like, oh, man, like, it doesn't matter where I go. As long as I see a ring, I'm good.
Yeah.
And Mexico was actually one of the first places that this is, Garza, you need to be here. We're talking about Mexico.
We do. I'll get them.
Yeah, but Mexico was one of the first places where I actually left America. And I remember, like, I was like, all right, let's see how this feels. And I remember same thing. I seen a ring and I was just set in stone. I was good. I was like, yo, I'm comfortable. It's like just being with my family, you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter who's in the crowd. Like, I know everybody there loves wrestling, and I feel like it all just with anybody, like the wrestler, the fan, or the cameraman, like as soon as we're all in that same environment together, it's just like we're just one,
Yeah, I always like that feeling.
Yeah.
It's not always the case.
Mm-hmm.
You're not always going to get that camaraderie everywhere you go.
Right.
But when you do, it's a lovely feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lovely feeling, amazing feeling, unlike anything else.
Yeah.
Well, now it's time to cut the IG feed right now.
Oh, we got to cut you guys.
Yeah. We about to get us to some good stuff. Good stuff. You know how you're going to see this? Good stuff. There's only one way you're going to see this. You got to subscribe to the YouTube. YouTube.com/Swerve City Podcast. Check it out right here. Swerve City Podcast. That's where you're going to check out the rest of the
Go
interview.
to the Swerve City Podcast.
Yeah.
You can
While you're
check
on
out-
there.
you can see the rest of this interview.
While you're on there, check out last week's episode that we did with Damian Priest. That was a fun one. A lot of people had a good time on that one. Learned some things. Yes, that was a good one. But we're going to say bye.
All right,
Deuces.
guys.
Peace.
Pew.
Bye.
Pew.
Really?
With the wave.
The way, bye.
Somebody way back.
That's a lot of work holding your phone. Yeah.
It is, man.
That's why I cut it after 10 minutes.
Oh,
Turn your vibrations off.
look,
Damn it. Moving on, back to the guest of the evening, Austin Theory. What's going on, man?
All right.
So,
I ain't got no
we got a
shit on
monitor now, man. We got to step up. Tighten things up a little bit, Mike.
Take your monitor back.
I'm grateful. Don't ask me for nothing else up in here.
Old Django.
House.
My wife stood up
It's
all
like
night.
an oven in here.
It is.
It's like a little oven.
I'm light skinned. I belong in the house with the AC.
Y'all used to get water. Look what happened.
I know you got cheap on us. What's it?
We're cooking in here.
Niggas ain't cheap. Austin, how's it going, man?
It's going good, man. It's a little warm, but
It is.
you know,
give it time. It's
let's
a big
get-
room. A lot of people.
I guess we got to get to the hot topics then.
Pain in
What's
the
the
Ha! Dudes.
The hot topics.
You ever rap before?
Oh, jeez.
That might be a bar.
Oh,
That might be a bar. So we last episode we had Damian Priest in here, and we spoke about how long it took in that gap for him to finally get things going, and there was like a lot of pitfalls. There's a lot of like setbacks, and finally realizing his full potential later on in his life, where he finally got to Ring of Honor, and then he finally got to NXT at a later age himself.
Yeah.
I feel like people understand that, and because people in everyday life kind of understand hitting their stride later on in their life. Not too many people understand what it feels like to hit their stride early in life, and I feel like a lot of times you take a lot of scrutiny and a lot of you get a lot of like daggers pointed at you because you hit your stride early. It happens in music. It happens with, like, a lot of people don't like people getting on quickly.
Yep.
Did you ever have to face that where you're like this 19, 20-year-old kid and you're pretty much the head of the class at training, you're excelling at a faster pace than a lot of people and getting a lot of things at quicker paces than a lot of guys that took like 8 to 10 to 12 years or 15 years to get it?
Yeah.
Talk about that.
I remember like when I joined the WWA 4 in Atlanta, and it's weird, man. I would notice like I feel like there's always like groups in wrestling. Like some people hang out and they're divided in their separate areas. I was always cool with everybody, regardless of how somebody felt about me or what they thought about me. Like I was always a very and you know this because over the years, like I met you on the Independence and we became friends. Like I feel like we became closer, like in WWE, you know.
Absolutely.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where I've never been a person that's like I need to be in a group or I need to make sure I fit in with you guys. Like I don't care, and it's not because I feel like I'm better than somebody. It's not because I feel like I have more than somebody. It's none of that. It's just I know what I'm here for and I know what I'm trying to do. So.
You feel like you pick up friends along the way.
Yeah, exactly.
If you do, whether you do or not.
And I feel like it's very few people that understand the mindset of I'm just serious about my business. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people are there to, like, oh, it's cool to slack this week because, we want to hang out. We want to do this. Like for me, I was like, yo, I'm not in WWE. Like I'm trying to get there. Like I don't need to hang out with people. I need to train and I need to do shows and I need to figure out how to get merch so I can start making money to travel to more shows. And it was just a process like that. But of course, like when I was at the school, I felt, a little tension from some people and I would hear things, of course, but obviously like it never affected me, But I see it a lot now, just like being on Raw and stuff. Like, there's some people that are like, oh, he's killing it. And then there's some people that are like, oh, he's too young. Like, he's not ready for this. He's not ready for that.
Do people think that you're given a lot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I had
to talk those naysayers down, too, a couple times. Trust me.
I'm kind of glad, though, I've came to, like, a realization in my mind is that when I do read a positive comment and I read a negative comment, I put them right next to each other. Like, they mean the same thing to me. And I appreciate people saying positive things about me and stuff, but I never want to let that even get into my head because, people were saying like, oh, like in 5 years from now, like you're going to be at WrestleMania, like you're going to main event for the title and this. I appreciate that, but I'm not going to, I feel like over time hearing that so much, you can start, taking your foot off the gas and you start slowing and you're not as fast as you used to be. So for me, if somebody says I sucks, like, cool. Like, that's awesome. If somebody says I'm great, like, thank you. Like, I appreciate it. But it's the same thing to me.
Absolutely.
I just,
they always say, like, you never want to be too up. You never want to be too
down.
down.
Exactly. And I feel like that just keeps me, like, perfectly grounded, like, with all that stuff,
Right.
You
always want to have that mentality. Just
yeah,
so you carry on.
Yeah. And I feel like you're you're a liar if you go, well, none of that affects me. Like, there is, I'm a human, so there are some things I read and I'm like, wow, like somebody really feels that way. But it's like, okay, like I'm not going to sit there and mourn about it, I'm just like, all right, now I'm going to go outside and work out, or okay, I'm going to go train, or, I got to go do this, whatever's going to get me to that next step. But it's like, I do see them, being a human, you feel that, you feel like a way towards that stuff, but it's not going to hold me back. So it doesn't matter if you say something good or something bad, it's not going to affect me regardless.
What about comparisons? Because there's a lot of times where, especially being a young, like, pretty much prodigy, you could pretty much say.
Right.
Being compared to guys like this guy over here.
Uh-huh.
And seeing his route. He took a longer route than you, but he was also one I came up with.
Uh-huh.
I, learned under him. I watched his process. He got a lot of things fast as well.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I think we had a discussion about him dealing with a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
But at 22, he definitely wasn't at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
He wasn't in the ring with Seth Rollins.
Yeah.
You know. So, do you come to him, like, guys like that? Like, Adam Cole's, Gargano's, Ciampa's,
Yeah.
You go to those guys often?
So I am cool with all of them. Just, obviously, like, in wrestling, I feel like you become closer with somebody after a match with them.
Yeah,
I feel like it's just because, like, I feel like, for example, for me and you, like, yeah, we were friends, like, way before we actually had a match, because our actual first one-on-one match was in NXT.
Yeah.
Like, we did have a little match in Mexico, but it was, we didn't really do much in there,
Yeah.
But, I just feel like once I wrestled Cole at Evolve and I wrestled with Gargano, like, you do feel that. But for me, I wasn't much of an indie guy. Like, I never really watched the indies. Like, I was always WWE. So AR Fox is who introduced me to the indies. And then once I started learning about that, then I learned who these guys were. And I was like, oh, like, Johnny was on the indies for a long time and Cole was. So, but when you say comparisons, I've got compared a lot to, one recently is like Randy Orton a lot.
Yeah.
John Cena. And somebody asked me this yesterday when I did Instagram Live, and they were like, how do you feel about these comparisons? And I was like, I appreciate it because I grew up watching those guys. Like, those were the top two guys that I watched growing up,
Right.
And, that's awesome you guys see that and how, they're icons. But for me, it's, like I said, like, it's just a comment, and I appreciate it, but, I want to be my own person and do my own thing. And, like you said, I'm 22 and I was on WrestleMania, so I feel like that kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah. That also, I think, sets a high bar for the following year and the year after that.
Yeah.
And the year after that.
Yeah.
Because this is a company, this is a job that you can have for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
If you play your cards right, do everything you want to do.
Yeah.
You can have this for the long run, so
yeah.
It's also scary setting the bar so high so early.
Mm-hmm. I think it makes me like that feeling that gut feeling in my stomach, but it's like, yo, like, I love, like, fear is not something that I feel like I have. Like, I love the uncomfortable, like when you say, like, that's a lot of pressure to raise the bar after that. But I think that's what makes this exciting, because for me, like, no matter where I've been in my life, no matter what the situation is, once I feel comfortable, I lose interest. So I feel like once I'm uncomfortable, it's great. And I like that pressure on me. I think it's what's going to make me where I'm trying to go.
That's the way us entertainers are, man. Like, I feel like we always talk about it. Like, entertainers is not having that structure, not having that, always having something that can keep you busy. Like, we were just talking about things that we get into to keep us busy, to keep us focused, to keep different goals coming up, to keep your mind constantly working, because you can get to a point where you have the comfortable home, and you're like, okay, now my base, I have a place to sleep at night. I know that's solidified. Now in my line of work, what can I do to keep myself busy? How can I keep my mind wired? And I feel like a lot of people do take their foot off the gas when they get to a certain point, especially in the entertainment business. You get a certain amount of success, or you get a certain amount of, like you said, the positive feedback, and then you start letting your foot off the gas a little bit, and it ends up showing in your product. So that's what's up for you saying, is keep yourself motivated in that way.
Yeah.
Do you put yourself in a leadership role as being, like for guys that are now trying to get from Evolve into the NXT, the Performance Center, and get into that mold, do you feel like you're in a leadership position now to those guys?
You know, like I talked to a few of them. I'm like still friends with some of them, but I feel like I don't try to put myself in a certain role, but I'm definitely there if there's a question or anything. And obviously, if I have a question for anybody like that I want to know the answer to, like I will ask. But if any of them reach out and ask me, definitely. But I don't want to say, like, I guess I take that role necessarily, you know?
I think oh, good.
I think it's healthier to do it that way.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people may think that it's selfish or whatever.
Sure.
But when you get to a point where you've, I guess, made it, or you made it to that first goal, that first step, you always want to go back and you're like, oh, help the next person. But you make yourself readily available for anybody who wants that opportunity, because, you know, if you're hungry for it, you're going to go out and I'm going to be like, hey, yo, Austin, I know, I see you made it. What can I do? Like, look at my tape, look at my film, you know, look at my promos or whatever. You're going to have to engage and actually actively go out for what you want. So you got to make sure you're in that right, like, state of mind, and right mind frame and stuff, so that you can continue to carry on. But you can't put all that burden up on you to try to help that next person.
Right.
But you can leave that, you know, keep punching that elevator door open, you know, just
and
to help them.
Kind of off what you said earlier, like where I was talking about the different groups and stuff. Like, I don't know if it's because I'm 22. Like at the time, like I was younger, you know, like 20, 21, and it's like there were like grown men, like way older than me, like, and they were asking me for advice. And there's some guys that like they were getting it, they understood it, and they had a lot of potential, and they do, and I don't have to name them specifically, but they're doing it now. Like they're doing some stuff, and it's like, I think it's like, yo, like they realized like, oh, like he gets it. Like why not ask him? I don't care how old he is, and I feel like a lot of people that were in those groups and kind of felt that way towards me. They're like, I'm not asking him. He's younger than me, you know, or he's just a young kid. Like, so I do respect the people. Yeah, I respect the people that can like swallow their pride and they're just like, yo, like I'm just trying to get better. Like that's all we're all trying to do, you know? And like I would have friends like when I would do, you know, like wrestled with Gargano and Evolve and wrestled with Adam Cole, they come up and ask me like, yo, how was the match? Like what was the feedback? Like why'd you guys do this? Why'd you guys do that? You know? Or some people just, they knew I had the match and I'd walk into wrestling school the next day and they wouldn't say a word to me.
Yep.
And it's just, it is what it is. I'm not going to go out of my way and be like, yo, you seen my match? Like I don't care. Like I'm coming to train. Like if you want to ask me, you can ask me, but I'm not just going to, you know, put my arms up and be like kind of based off what you were saying, like, I'm the leader, so ask me something. Like, you know, like, that's not my job. Like, I'm just here to get better just like everybody in here, and I'm just using this facility to the best of my advantage.
Which is equal playing field for everybody else in the facility as well.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny how that works. It's like some people excel, some people decline.
Yeah.
But we all get the same amount of time if you pay your fees.
Right.
Who won't
on time equally.
And how bad you want
Everybody's
it.
on the same playing field.
It's like those home workouts that we hate, but at the same time, I'm like, how bad do you want it? That's what I tell myself when I'm working out. I was like, well, how bad do you want it?
Yeah.
You have no gym? Let's see.
Yeah.
Let's see who actually makes it out on top. Let's see who's actually coming back, and they're better.
Better. Oh,
they're better.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh, not just stagnant for 8 months. Oh.
I had that thought run through my head where I was just like, I think it was like maybe the third workout without the gym, and I was like, yo, what if I could use this as like the world's on pause, and this is just my chance to get better and just excel and just get far ahead of where I was. And then of course, like, you know, like the Raw and WrestleMania thing just happened, but it was like I was just trying to prepare myself to be better, and it's like, oh, here just comes an opportunity, and it's like, all right, well, let's do it. But even before then, I could have just been chilling and not working out and starting to get out of shape because I know, like, we're on pause for a little bit, but it's like, here's the opportunity, and it's like, well, I'm ready. Let's go.
Oh, you could have been doing TikTok videos for hours on end.
Yeah.
Right.
Moving on to Teasy's table.
If you stay ready, you won't have to get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was he ain't lying.
He said
So
you ready all day. That's why I call him. All right, go ahead.
Teasy's table. So listen, we was talking a little bit earlier out there and getting to know each other a little bit about our music choices, right?
Yep.
So give me your favorite artist right now and why. Give me your favorites. Who are some people you're bumping when you in the car? Cause you got car music. You know, that
I
you
rode with this fool many times. I know what he's bumping.
So you have car music. You know, you got music when you're out in the house cleaning.
Yeah.
Who are your go-tos?
Well, like I was saying, man, like when I'm doing like a real intense like leg workout, I really like listening to R&B, and that usually consists of Miguel. Miguel's usually my go-to for R&B.
Boy, what you know about that, Miguel? Boy, what you know about that?
You know he does a mean split.
A leg drop.
I don't know what that's about, but
I'm like Mike.
what's that?
Ain't no way.
There you go.
Take it away, Mike.
That's crazy because Montez Ford said something similar when we interviewed him. He's like he liked to listen to R&B and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Too, remember?
Yeah.
During a workout?
I remember it. That's what
Yeah.
I remember that you were like you made a joke. You were like, I can't do squats
To Genuine Pony?
Oh, jeez. Not that. That's not R&B.
Every time he goes, yep, you need to take a
Yeah.
yeah. Oh man.
What R&B artist?
Definitely Miguel.
Miguel
That's a top. Keith Sweat is there. He's definitely there. Yeah.
Oh, you were born past like
No, but he's there. Yeah, he's been on the
You got some
Spotify.
Brother
game,
said
bro.
he
You got
likes
some
to-
game.
Dude, he's
He
on
like
there.
the
You listen to
whining
Keith Sweat. You got some
folks.
on there. You know how to talk to the ladies. Listen to Keith Sweat. Bro.
You know, he wants to attempt. You know, so
This is Austin Theory, baby.
You don't wonder why they call me.
I don't mind.
So that's what's up. What about anybody else who's like in the rap scene that you like?
Definitely Lil Baby and Da Baby. I like those two a lot.
I like Lil Baby a lot.
Yeah, Lil
I like him a
Baby.
lot.
Yeah, he's from
I like
Atlanta, so that kind of adds a plus to me.
Okay.
But yeah, Da Baby, man, I like him a lot too. Like
Okay.
it's I don't know, it sounds different to me. Like it's a different vibe, I feel like. That's what I get from it. I have times where I want to listen to music where it's very about the lyrics and it's a story and stuff, and then sometimes like
Sometimes you want to
just-
get ignorant.
you just you know.
You
And I
need
feel
an
like he
ignorant
kind of goes
playlist.
there, like
Yeah, you
he'll
need an ignorant playlist.
you know. So yeah,
Definitely.
Yeah, you need an ignorant playlist. My ignorant playlist is mixed of just a whole bunch of people I would not listen to on a regular basis.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
the
yeah.
songs get me to that point.
Yeah,
when I'm on my
exactly.
bike rides, oh my God, it's all
yeah,
ignorant.
yeah.
I want to hear some things of doing actions I would never do. I'm never gonna hit a lick. I'm never gonna knock over a liquor store. I'm never gonna do the things that they are describing
Yeah.
in this
Straight
song.
out the mud.
But I want to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is okay. Cause yes,
I want to feel like I can do that and get
Right,
away with
right.
it. You know.
But here's my question though, and this brings me to this: like, were you raised like in your household listening to Keith Sweat and stuff like that? Or they were just people you randomly listened to. With you being younger, people wouldn't necessarily think that you would know that. They're going off assuming.
Yeah.
But so what got you into like R&B and stuff like that?
So
being younger?
so man, for me, growing up, it wasn't. It was like it was never just like I wasn't around a bunch of country people. You know, like in elementary school, like everybody's vibe was like hip hop and stuff like that. Like that was just, you know, like that's just what I was around. And I would like, even in my neighborhood, man, like to be honest, like all the kids I played football with where we would just be in the grass playing was all black kids, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just, it's weird, man, but it's like, and it's not weird actually. Like I don't know. I like that style and I liked hanging out with them. And it was, I don't know. I just didn't see nothing wrong with it. You know what I mean?
Awesome. It's all right. You can say it.
You know, yeah, black people are awesome, man. You know, they're awesome, man. But yeah, man, like that was just the crowd that I was around, and I just, you kind of, you know, people say like when you start, you know, hanging out with certain people, you pick up characteristics from them, and that's kind of how it was, and of course, like I grew up, you know, who got me into wrestling was John Cena, and John Cena was kind of, you know, doing like the hip hop thing and stuff like that, but
Okay.
yeah, I remember, I don't know why I just randomly thought about this, but man, I remember in elementary school doing the it was like a lean with it, rock with it challenge.
Hey,
I don't want to see that
Elementary
video.
School, I
don't wanna see that video.
Comfortable with you saying them words together. along with the
Elementary
story and the
school.
time.
Yeah.
Lean with
Good
a rock with it.
God.
Yeah.
I was playing Sonic on Sega Genesis.
It was like challenges and all kinds of stuff back in
Right.
school, but it was
It's funny because
Yeah.
I
It
was
was funny. I
was
once
kinda
danced with them
opposite.
before.
Them franchises.
The franchise, well, yeah.
Damn.
yeah.
Damn.
Well, how'd this occur? You
Well,
got pulled up on stage?
Yeah, well, yeah, my city has this thing called Wild Splash. In Clearwater, and every year we just had passes to go backstage and go onto the stage and stuff, and they always knew I could dance. So like I've danced with them, Neo, Christina Milian, Jaru 112.
You were cutting the wood. You were
Listen,
cutting the
bro,
wood.
listen,
Yeah.
They weren't even
I've had a very
expecting it.
interesting life, and that was like just high school,
Yeah.
killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Lord.
Yeah.
yeah.
Come on, man. You wasn't dancing with Christina Milian. You
I was.
You was schooling Christina Milian.
Well-
Christina Milian can't dance.
Well, she's a nice lady. Very nice lady.
We say that
She
about
can
people that
dance.
can't dance.
I felt like
Oh,
Aretha,
man.
beautiful gown.
She couldn't even dip it low.
She could. She picked it up slow, rolled it all around.
Bring
Yeah.
it back. Bring it back.
Yeah.
Oh.
So,
Pop that
last
back.
question. Like, have any albums? Any favorite album, like classic albums that you like from any classic, any genre?
I feel like an easy bake.
Let me see specific album. I'm so terrible with like dates. Like people even ask me in wrestling about like, remember this pay-per-view of 2000 something or 19, and I'm just like,
Right.
I don't know. Like I'm just not a very maybe a song would be best for me.
Right, instead of like albums and stuff
Yeah,
like that. I got you.
yeah. Man, a specific song.
What's your go-to
me
song? Like
see.
when you like, okay, let's switch the mood real quick. When you like in a down mood, man, and you just need something, it's been a long day. What song do you play?
Let's see. I'd probably go to. I kind of like a slower. The song I've been listening to is called "Find My Way" by the Baby, and I just like that because it is like a little bit like uppity, but it's not. It's just kind of chill. Like I like that vibe. Like like it's still moving and you're not like super depressed, but it's like he's just kind of explaining like, why he's doing this and why he's got this and just it's just easy, like smooth, like I'm just talking to
I love
you.
songs like that.
That's it. Yeah.
There's this one song that that I listen to as well. It's called "I Need Some Help."
Yeah.
Need some help.
Oh, produced by.
I need some help.
Yeah, from
Written
Humble
by-
Beginnings.
All right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, you might like it.
You might like it.
I mean, for the likeness, you could put that up on there. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
You
gotta use
advertise it.
chill. It's
All
really
right.
dope.
No, we own that one right there.
All right. I have to check that one out.
Yeah.
I think we all
I
should
think
check that
everybody
out.
should.
Yeah.
Everybody should.
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
think so.
Stream that.
I'm pretty good.
He's nasty. He's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Swole's World.
yeah.
There you go.
Like-
There you go, mama. There you go, mama.
Yes.
They're reading
Now
glasses.
read it, look. I
Yeah.
see you. All right. So I want to go back a little bit. Your figure is ridiculous. So how did this come about? I heard you bodybuild.
I did do bodybuilding.
He builds bodies.
Champion?
Yeah, I was a bodybuilding champion at 17.
Wow.
Yeah.
Accomplishing stuff.
What made you want to
early.
get into
Yeah.
that?
So it's crazy, but my whole life has just been a road to get to WWE. There was never it was never a second choice. It's always been WWE, figure out a way to get there. And at a very young age, at 12, I decided to, I need to do I know I can do something right now to get myself prepared for WWE. Working out. All these dudes look crazy. Like, I got to get in shape. So I remember I started training at 12. I was working out all the way until I was 17, and I remember there was a bodybuilder at the gym, and he was like, "Hey man, like, some people were telling me about you, like you're real young, but you're into wrestling." And I was like, "Yeah, absolutely." And he's like, "Well, I do bodybuilding shows and stuff." He's like, "But I did my show, and there was some scouts from WWE there, and they offered me a tryout." He was like, "But I didn't take it because I'm not really into that. I'm into bodybuilding." Mm-hmm. And I was like, "Oh, okay, like." All right, so maybe I need to do a bodybuilding show. So I did the bodybuilding show, and man, like when I tell you this, like there's nothing more mentally like just of a challenge than bodybuilding. Like the diet part, it's not even like the physical part. Like just in my mind, like I remember looking at myself in the mirror, man, and I was just like, yo, why are you doing this? But I just remember what I was trying to get out of it. And I remember literally after the show, I won 2015 Mr. Teenage Georgia Bodybuilding. And I remember walking out. We were in Atlanta, and I think the arena name changed now. It was there was Phillips Arena next to it, and there was a sign advertising Raw. And my bodybuilding coach, he was just like, next week we'll meet up and figure out what's next. And I was like, nah. Like, I pointed to the sign, and they were advertising Raw, and I was like, that's next. That's where I'm trying to be. And he was like, all right, like, it's bodybuilding. You didn't hear anything.
It's like an award that people hand
yeah.
people when they win something.
Bro, you was 17 right there?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I think I was 183 pounds here, and then 2 days later I was 220.
How's that happen?
What's your walk around weight now?
Right now I'm 210.
Oh, okay.
But it's just because of the water depletion. A lot of it was water weight, and my abs were gone after that. Those 2 days. Yeah, my body, because basically, man, like it's I'm not really knocking on bodybuilding, but it's not healthy to be that lean, like that's, you're close to, I think after 3% body fat or 2%, like it's like kidney failure, like it's scary, like, so it's not, but like, man, I remember like I seen some pictures, my face was kind of just draining, man. Yeah, it looked like you'd been starving.
Those slits in the middle,
I was like, oh, nobody hit me up. Well, I'm done with this. Like, on to the next thing. So, in Atlanta, they do a lot of movies and stuff. So, like the entertainment business is big there. So, I did a lot of extra work, and I was like, man, I'm just hoping like somebody sees me, and they're like, you don't really fit here, but WWE. It was a broad like, hope. Right. But I was like, maybe like. But I did that for a little bit, and then I was like, all right, like, I'm just in the crowd, like, this isn't really going anywhere. So I found a wrestling school, and then from that point, I was just using the extra work money to pay off wrestling school. And then one day my coach was like, yo, like, you don't have to work a real job to do this. Like, you can do it full time if you commit. And I was like, yo, I'm committed. Like, I'm going to do it. Like, so.
What I've been noticing, I just love how it's like, okay, I want to get here. What I got to do? This? That. Now I'm here. Yeah. I'm like, oh, it's that easy, huh?
Yeah.
Like, why in your mind do you believe that it can go as simple as A, B, C, but some people get A, X, D, R, and then they get to C?
I guess the way I'm saying it, like, it seems like it is simple, but there was definitely some down times, like times where I was like, man, like, do you really want to do this, or do you really want to do that? Like I said, like the body
is possible. Yeah,
like I remember working out, and even before the bodybuilding show, and my whole goal of working out was just to look good, so I could look in WWE one day. And I remember like kids like this weekend, like, yo, there's a party on Friday and this and that, and there's gonna be drinks and all this stuff, and I just made it a choice at a very young age, like I'm not gonna drink. And I was like, I'm not going to these parties. Like, I'm going to the gym. Like, that's where I need to be. And I remember late nights, like, I'd be in the gym, and, you post a picture on Instagram, and then you see people, like, they're at the party and stuff. And it's like, man, like, am I missing out on that? But it was never really my vibe. Like, I just knew, I was like, man, I don't really care to go to that, Like, I want to do this. And, there was just different things, like, over the years, like, the bodybuilding struggle, like, how hard it was to get to the show, like, and make it and go through that whole mental thing, like, where people were like, yo, just eat, man, like, don't worry about it. And it's like, no,
you can skip this day.
Yeah,
don't worry about
it's
this.
like I can't. It's like, yo, like, I remember training, and like I remember being like we were doing like some kind of lunges or something, and I remember like my legs were shaking, and my friend, he was behind me, and he was like, yo, like, if I pass you, like, you're getting second place, like little mind tricks like that. Or even if I was training alone, I was like, yo, the guy that's gonna get first place just did another rep, or just some crazy thing in my mind.
Yeah.
That discipline.
Yeah.
You feel like that discipline carried you over into
absolutely
wrestling,
yeah,
and like working out?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think there's two abstracts to this. Like, there's people that there's people that get motivated by the discipline, or that fear of failing or coming in second, like that. Mm-hmm. And because, like, if you're not first, you're last. Ricky Bobby, you got to be, constantly. And then there's the other abstract to that, where it's just like, it's subjective. Mm-hmm. What is first place? What is success?
Yeah.
You define your own success.
Yeah.
And I guess that's where my mind works to. Like, my mind always works to, like, is this the best podcast out? To me, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Rogan's is number one, and there's like others, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
You can't
before
compare yourself to anybody. There's no one else like me. So
Yeah.
No.
why
Exactly.
am I going to compare
And-
myself?
And that's what I mean.
Like,
It's like there's ways to get to where you want to be.
Yeah.
You know, like, but you're going to drive yourself crazy looking at the people at number 1 and number 2 and number 3 and not appreciate what you have at whatever number you are.
Right.
Like, you're good at what you are here.
Yeah.
You should appreciate that. Of course you want more. You're
Absolutely.
going to always continue to grow and be more. But
Yeah.
that's where the art comes in.
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to build and, like, create things to excel
Yeah.
rather than next, this number, because, like, that's billboards.
Yeah.
People do that with billboards all the time.
I feel
Even
like-
though my favorite albums never hit billboards.
No.
Ever.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Yeah.
Some of your
Yeah.
favorite albums, some of your favorite artists never chart billboards, but the billboard tells you and the rest of the world that these 100 people are the best.
The best, yep.
But let's be like, even
The
Forbes.
best is subjective.
Even Forbes, those
Yeah.
like there's several people that are missing from those Forbes lists that make more money than people on them.
Yeah.
But that's just a number. And the people, and let's be honest, people with real money don't tell you how much money they actually have.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
that's
wow.
where the subjective abstract of this comes into.
Yeah.
And I had a conversation with somebody about that, and that's always like what brings me back down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because if we get too caught up into like chasing number one, numbers,
Yeah.
like stats, like looking at the charts and stuff like that, we lose sense of enjoying ourselves. Like, even though you made it a conscious effort not to go to those parties and stuff, maybe you missed out on some good parts of your childhood that you're never going to get back.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
But
It's just
but that's a conscious effort for you. That's something that you told
my
yourself.
dog was at WrestleMania, so
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But some people get that mental. Most people get that mental discipline late in the late 20s, late mid 30s, early 30s, and stuff
Yeah.
like that because they lived their childhood. You know, they don't know. A lot of people don't know what they want to be or what they want to grow to till later on. You knew what you wanted. You stuck with it. So that's a huge kudos to you about that.
Right.
But I don't want people to always. There's always another side to that as well.
Yeah.
You know?
I feel like a dream is waking up every day and being happy. And I feel like that goes so many different ways. Like, there are some people that are like, yo, for me to live my dream and be happy every single day, I need to have this much money. For some people, it's, I need to be at WrestleMania. Some people, it's, I need to have a family and I just want to be comfortable, and have a house and have this. And it's like, just everybody's definition of a dream is so different, but that's what makes everybody's way go. Like, when you're saying, like, there's a point A, it's where how I just went to kind of straight to it. It's just everybody's got a different way of how they like to do stuff.
Yeah.
And that's a perfect example. You saying, like, hey, you could have missed out on something from the party. Like, maybe, you could have heard something there that could have changed your life. Like, those, but it's how everybody looks at it. And I think you learn and you grow from those situations because, like, obviously, like, we've, like, Wale Mania, like, that's a party, like, I've been there, and it's like in high school, I didn't go to parties. So it's like, why'd you go to a party now? But it's like, you learn and you grow in different parts of your life, and there's a reason why you do stuff. And sometimes it's a mistake, and then sometimes it's a really good reason why you didn't do it.
I guarantee you that WrestleMania party is definitely better than that
Than
high
whatever
school.
high school
Yeah.
Whatever high school.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Whatever was going
Whatever.
on now.
Oh, man, look.
I really was hoping to see this Wale Mania party this year.
For real,
Oh,
though, I'm
yeah.
gonna need them to bring back a couple of these tracks from this year to play next year.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
We can take 2020 off. This is off year.
Right.
Can we just like
So speaking of the downtown,
Send past.
what exactly are you doing in your downtown?
Well, besides the working out, man, I'm Xbox. That's there. Xbox One. I'm not really a game person. I talked to you
Right.
about this, but I play Grand Theft Auto online. That's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I've always played it not online, but once you play it online, it's a totally different thing.
world.
Yeah,
It's
it's
a world.
fun. Yeah.
It's a world.
Yeah, I get pretty angry at some of
going
those
back and
people.
killing people that just
Yeah.
killed you, and they just wait for you to
I got
respond.
like $65,000 worth of cargo, and I'm trying to transport it, and somebody blows it up, and I'm like, that's it? Like, I don't get a second chance? It's like, no, it's it. And it's always the guys that are flying on the oppressors, like the little flying bikes. But I got one now, so the game's changed.
I'm gonna get you.
Yeah, I do it to everybody.
Bro, it's funny the amount
Now
of
you're like, I see
trash
why it's
you
so
talk
fun.
on those games.
Yeah.
I'm glad I play with my brothers, because, Lord, you be on there, you be like,
You
bro,
can't do it alone. No.
like, where you at,
Yeah,
bro?
clan.
Where you stay? What? I bet you ain't got no hand game. You just start
Uh,
saying anything, but you be so mad.
I don't have a headset yet, but I sometimes it'll come
You
through the
got-
TV, and I hear people, and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, what?
Man, I
What
got
are you
some
saying?
headphones
Who
you
you
can borrow,
talking
my
to, bro?
brother.
I'm gonna have to borrow your
Yeah, you can
headphones.
borrow some-
Yeah.
You can't just be
Yeah.
one way talking. No, you
Yeah.
need to clap back.
Well,
gotta
sometimes I'll have them. They'll message me, and at first I didn't know what was going on, and I'm like, because I'm not really like I don't know too much about it, but they messaged me, and he's like, keep coming out your house, and I was like, what? Like, who's this guy? Like, he just kept blowing me up, but he's like, keep coming out your house.
Don't let them know who you are.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this Austin Theory.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Y'all just rob Austin Theory on Grand Theft Auto.
Right.
Yeah, my gamer tag. I'm not gonna say it because
Please don't.
I don't want people to know.
Please don't.
Yeah, I don't want them to know. But it's like one of those.
We
where you
PlayStation
get,
folk anyway.
It's one of those when you get Xbox and they just give you a random one. It's terrible.
it's
It's terrible. And they're like, if you want to change it, it's $20. I'm like, no, I'm just gonna be this weird.
It's
guy.
gonna be RG 30085 XQ
Drool.
It's hilarious. The name's
number sign
hilarious.
ampersand.
I'm gonna be Toothpick 39. Yes, I'll do that.
That's how it is.
You gotta put a great in there with an 8.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this,
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
gotta be a
this is
number.
Austin. This is Austin Theory after getting blown up.
That's my
Right
game,
there.
dude.
Yep.
I got a heart tattoo because I'm going through it.
So why no other games? It's only games.
Maybe I just, I probably need to step out of that,
Yeah,
comfort
what's
zone.
the game recommendations? Go ahead, round
Um,
table. Go ahead, give him some.
So he's a sandbox gamer. I see.
Ooh, ooh.
So
Sandbox gamer, is that the bottom of the barrel? Or?
Well,
no, sandbox is
there's
like the
always
world.
this-
You have a
Oh,
world you
okay.
can run around in the sandbox. So
Okay.
that's your type of, like.
Okay.
If you'll have fun with a Saints Row and stuff like that.
Saints Row's
you know,
good.
Yeah.
Like you could, if you like blowing stuff up a lot, you can play some of the.
I think
Just
I like
Causes,
the.
yeah.
I think I like a lot of the
Gears of War.
the free run.
Yeah,
like
Xbox,
you can
yeah.
kind of run and do whatever, not really following the story.
Yeah,
like-
just like a Just Cause and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Is that
Okay.
PlayStation only?
No.
Oh, okay.
okay.
Yeah, it's on all platforms.
Yeah, everybody's moving on to PC gaming too, because everything just moves so much faster.
That's computer.
Really
Yeah.
will.
Okay.
Yeah, like Cameron Grimes.
Seems kind of
He
harder
moved-
like,
he
to
left-
play on a computer.
I
Yeah,
used to have
yeah.
Cameron Grimes balling with us on 2K. He left and went to the PC. Now I'm like, come on, bro. He said, man, them half-second jump shots count. He's getting greens now.
Wow.
Yeah, every them half-second like little whatevers. Yep. Ooh, it is true. You see my lab? I
I've
might
seen
bring
it.
my gaming out there.
Yeah.
I don't know yet.
See.
I like my. I don't
That looks
know.
nice. That's really nice.
I wanted to might just keep it just for for music though.
Yeah.
I want to keep that corner. That's my music corner. I got this room. I got this room. This is my podcast room. And I want my corner.
Mm-hmm.
I might just keep it separate. I don't like to. I like my vegetables and my food to touch.
Yeah.
Oh, that also? Yeah.
What are you looking at me like that for?
We need a secret now.
Yeah, I'm like.
I was talking about you remember when Brandy played Cinderella?
Yeah,
Yeah, you remember?
Oh, that was in the dream.
Sadly, boy,
That wasn't the
National-
Mandela effect.
national treasure. Her and Whitney
That wasn't
Houston.
the Mandela. I
God
could have
rest her
swore.
soul.
I could have swore that was fake.
No.
That was a parody.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen.
you ever think like look back at like little movies? I'm like, wait, no, that wasn't a movie in a movie, right? They was watching something on a movie that was in the movie. Yeah, that's like one of them TV shows in the Grand Theft Auto games. It's one of them shows, right? That didn't happen.
I'm gonna go to church and pray for this.
Mandela effect.
Is church open? Or is it still closed?
Yeah, the doors of the church are open. I suggest you, Steph, Strickland,
Who? She keeps saying.
come
his
to the
name.
altar.
Strickland.
Wade and deep. In
What's
there,
your
too.
favorite movie? You have a movie?
A favorite
you into?
movie?
Yeah. that inspires you.
Oh man.
And don't say Pain and Gain. I swear.
Or
to God.
Rocky.
Pain and Gain, yo.
He
That's a
gonna
good
say the
one.
longest yard.
No, that's
You look like a Pain and Gain favorite
that's
movie
terrible.
guy.
That'd be like a terrible motivation.
Go
Like,
ahead and say it.
He was like, Rocky, you know when he ran up and he was like, yeah.
Only Rocky. Only Rocky.
Rocky movie.
I seen
Don't say Star Wars.
I feel like a lot of people say this, but I seen 8 Mile at a very young age, and I liked that movie. I always liked
That's
it.
precious.
It's always been a good one. That's a great one. I can still watch it. I can
You
watch
cool
it.
with me, bro.
The way this interview was going, I figured 8 Mile would be that answer.
We
Really?
can't go one whole episode without Eminem coming up, so
Really.
it was going.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. When you guys were asking me songs, I was like, I'm gonna just stay away from the Eminem because I feel like everybody would say that. But
here
8
we are.
Mile, dude, I gotta 8 Mile. That's a good one.
Yeah, man, all you gotta do is watch them rap battles and it just
Dude, that's it.
does something
For
to
real,
you, bro.
it
It's
really
like,
does.
yes.
There we go.
I can
just-
skip
all right.
over the
Yeah.
rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Just gets the juices flowing watching that movie.
Hopefully he's
Shout out to Wink.
Rest in peace, Brittany.
hopefully
Yeah.
he's still working on the ET poster with me on it. We still got that on the
Yeah,
bike.
that's like
Matter
last.
of fact,
That's
matter-
like for dessert.
Matter of fact, these
All right.
are the best exhibit bars ever.
You gonna leave him alone. I ain't listening to that. Next topic. I ain't listening to that.
You got to pimp your ride.
Those
talking-
might be the
Nope.
best exhibit bars.
Nope.
I got an argument with somebody that Bow Wow at 16 is a legend in hip hop. Right? But somebody's like, man, name a Bow Wow. I was like,
Excuse you, that whole Barrel Dog was all that. Barrel Dog was all that.
how many summers
Oh,
has
yeah.
Bow Wow run away with? The only-
Wow.
There was two summers. It was like all you could hear was Bow Wow, Destiny's Child, and Nelly.
You ain't never lie. And then Nelly had the nerve to put that dilemma out, and then you heard both of them.
I was like, oh,
I
Lord.
listen.
It was,
sorry,
it was like an
I'm
era
sorry.
where I was like, I was in
microphone.
teen camp, and it was roller skating time, and all you would hear was Dilemma and Hot in Here,
Hot in
like
Here.
back to back.
to
And
back.
Where the Party at remix. That's all I heard.
Featuring Nelly.
What was your summer hits that you remember? That just all summer you heard that
I
one
was probably
song.
all elementary school for him.
You guys remember when they played the Kesha over and over again?
Yeah.
Nobody listening to
man.
Kesha.
No, I'm saying
that
like
wasn't
I don't
I don't
really
remember
listen.
that. What song?
Oh my god.
Don't stop, make it hot.
Yeah.
No, like that's.
Wake up in the morning feeling like P. Diddy.
But
Got
that's-
my
Oh, they played the
glasses
crap
and
out that
my-
song.
like
That's what I'm saying.
monetized.
That's the first one that
sorry.
comes to mind. They played so many of that.
But see, that's not the hot summer though. Like we're
No.
talking about like the 106 and Park summers, when they were
Well, like
running,
J Lo and Ja
Like,
Rule.
yeah,
Every
like
5 minutes.
Oh my
you-
God,
like
when they
Mario,
played-
Let Me
when they
Love
played-
You.
They played Let's Get Married. What's going on across the
Yeah.
sea? That's
It ain't nothing, nothing
my
front and short
God,
and
that's
coming with
all
me.
I heard. Like,
He said, "Nah, I done already gave you the keys to the race. Your last thing's about to change."
yeah. He hit you with that 1983 style fast on that one, boy.
Man, I'm like, I mean, like, where's the
Whoa.
white tees?
He was probably
The
like
Usher,
Black Eyed Peas
yeah.
era. Like Black Eyed Peas played a lot when
Yeah.
he was, yeah.
I'm a be.
Oh
The
jeez.
biggest sellout rap group in history.
Talk!
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Talk.
Biggest.
It was good till they got first.
Yeah, I was like, who this little bitty?
Man.
They said they found their Fuji la.
Once my humps went like what, triple diamond, I was like,
Yeah, soul is sold, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were talking spitting some real stuff, and all of a sudden we.
Where is the
humps.
love to?
Where's the love to
yeah,
humps?
where love was like kind of like. the
No, that's the joint. That's
Don't
the jam.
fuck with my heart.
That was my first time seeing
It
it.
was popular, but like.
It wasn't a hit.
It's funk, Mike.
Like, oh yeah, it was like
Elephant. Yeah. Man, such a cutie. The way she
Oh man.
Yo.
He looked like First off, he looked like a villain on Watch Dogs 2.
They both do.
Yeah.
Freaking frack. Look right
Yeah,
there.
right
Oh,
here.
Man. Oh, that's bad.
Yeah, he looked like the informant you go to get the missions on Grand Theft Auto.
Dang.
Yeah.
Is that the prostitute that be there by the Vice City
Yeah.
Club?
No, she looked like a Jason Statham movie character that you got to save at the end of Escorter throughout the whole movie.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a shame.
He looked like an X-Men mutant in X-Men United, or the third one at the end.
Oh man.
He's like, what was his power? He could throw his glasses and they turn into
cool back in the day.
crabs.
They all cool. Look at them. They all cool.
Back in 2003, that was the click.
Oh God, they look gross.
No, they don't.
Back when everybody was wearing...
That was the first Yeezys. Look at that.
Wow.
Lord. But this is kind of ahead of its time because people are wearing this now.
That whole outfit. What you mean?
But that's what I'm saying. They're ahead of their time. There are people wearing this now. They were wearing this like what 2007.
You already got the rip.
Yeah,
the
that's
rip.
right after
Yeah.
everybody stop wearing 5X shirts.
You know,
Bruh.
my favorite.
What would you had big baggy jeans, big tall tees?
You had
4X?
Jabos.
No.
You didn't know. Look how crazy I look being the short as I am, wearing big long Iverson jerseys with baggy jeans. I look crazy. I look nuts, bro.
That boy had that Mitchell Ness.
With the jackets with the race car logo on
Oh
it.
jeez.
No.
M&M's.
No, who was
Block
rocking the
29.
Oh god.
who was rocking the jackets with the Looney Tune characters on the back?
Block 29.
God, dude. Yo, it
Who was
was
rocking? I always wanted one. couldn't get it.
Nietzsche.
Nietzsche.
50 Cent come out. You couldn't tell me nothing. I had the G unit.
Everything was spinning.
Everything was G
My
unit.
mic spins.
Everything was G unit, dog. You know I had the tight tank. Oh yeah, that's back when I was in prime shape too.
His nipples
Oh.
was hanging out the side.
I was just out the side, and then I had it was like the fatigue. I had the G unit sneakers, but you couldn't tell. I thought I was 50, boy. You couldn't tell me nothing. I was 50 Cent, man.
Oh man.
I look so dumb. I'm gonna bring a picture in here. I'm gonna find some pictures and put it on here. I look so dumb.
Don't do the hacker right there. He'll find him.
Mike, I'm gonna send them to
Look,
you.
we got
bro.
watchdogs sitting on the floor. What you mean?
Not right.
Pull that up, Mike.
Oh, I was the opposite. I was the one that had a backpack on all the time, polo, and the big belt buckle. It had a crown. Had to have a crown or a cassette tape.
Oh,
belt buckles.
That's the Jewel's buckle, boy.
That's
the Jewel Santana buckle.
Yep. I didn't have that. I didn't go all the way out. I did more like the if you can bring out a look, like a Kanye look, or a college dropout look. That was more my thing. My steez.
Oh, okay, like the plaid. It'd be like the.
I didn't go that far.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's more Farnsworth.
That's like.
Is there any Facebook photos of this man at like 13?
Oh jeez.
I would love to
Maybe
see
on
that.
Instagram.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hacker. Oracle.
Yeah, I wasn't really like I think I always just made sure my shoes were on point, but my outfit I never really cared about.
What was your shoe? What was your shoe of choice?
It was always Jordans. That was my yeah.
Hey.
The ones that I
Jays
never
will do it, man.
The ones that I never got
To your
my
bank
hands
account,
on
too.
was the Bred 11s.
I just got those.
I got the 2 ring or 6 ring, and I got them off Goat. I think that's the
Yeah, I was about to say,
website.
That's where I got mine.
And I got them in like they're just too like small, and I sold
That's where I
them.
got the
I'm
emos
just-
from. The goat. That goat.
Yeah, I got to get them again though.
I didn't
But-
buy my first pair of Jordans till like 2 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Actually, last year.
Yeah, myself.
Yeah.
I don't know. When I was 23, I bought my first pair.
I was broke for a big part of my career.
Yeah, when you're in like, in like middle school, that's a lot of money. You're like,
Real.
You don't need to be.
You
You
gotta
don't
wait
need to
for
be 12
Christmas.
walking
Yeah,
around with that much money. on you.
it's like
Real
2 Christmases.
talk,
Yeah.
bro, like,
Yeah,
Those are my babies.
yeah, those are my favorite shoes.
I got those at the in the storage.
Yeah.
They're in storage.
Why would you? I mean,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I got them like a
Sometimes you
couple. I
would
got
look
'em-
like everybody say, well, yeah.
Where'd you get them from? That's the question.
I overpaid for them. I got them from StockX.
I hate guys like that. Like, oh, I had a pair of them Jones. They in the stores.
He
You
already
mean
did
you
it.
don't got them?
He did it to us. already.
You'd be like, no, they're not with you.
Like, oh, you ain't got them. I've been to your house 8 times, bro. I ain't never seen
Yeah,
no.
no, they.
Say, yeah, I got the blue ones.
Man, I got everything.
Did y'all like the Carmelo shoes?
Never
I used
was.
to have those.
Never.
What are those?
Those are the only Jordans
I've never been
They were
in.
cute for girls.
I've never seen them. I don't know.
They were cute.
I don't know
for-
which
they were
ones
cute
he's
for
talking
girls.
about.
What? They weren't cute for girls.
The Carmelos.
But I ain't never seen.
You
no
wear them
guy
shoes,
wear
you just
like-
automatically start to hog everything in life. You start,
I'm driving.
you start to hog everything.
I've never been into a Mellow anything. I didn't think Mellow had that much style to me.
Was it?
I just like the colors.
And that's because of the Nuggets, not because of Mellow.
Well, then look at that. I
we're
didn't
gonna
buy them
get
for
it.
him. I bought them because colors.
I think we're gonna get it.
Might.
Yeah, because I never got into mellow anything.
Love the mellows.
Like, why? Yeah, watch
No,
these
pull up
joints
the-
not
the-
be that.
The baby blue.
They're not gonna be that crispy. The only reason, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they weren't light blue, you
Powder
probably
blue,
wouldn't
the
like
white, and then the gold. I thought it was cute.
Because a mellow in a Knicks colors just doesn't look fresh ever.
Well, no, you mix those
Ever.
colors together. It's just.
I don't even know. Here's a version of them. So,
Look at them.
Nah, they made the right ones.
They made the white ones. You gotta get the white ones.
Nah, you gotta get-
Look at that black material.
That's
That looks-
not cool.
that looks terrible.
Yeah, that's
It looked like a bus muffler.
That's the Kmart special.
That case was.
Look at that.
Look at that. What is that? Velvet?
I can
That's
see
what
the
it looked
glue.
like. Oh no!
Telling you, boy, that's that.
You glued it? Nah, I ain't glued that.
This is gonna be the end of every episode. We just have a roast session.
Right. Like,
What could you wear these with? Look at that. Look, like
That boy
think
said,
of your
"Spin 'em
closet. Think of your closet.
oh no!
Bro, these right here, you know what they come with? They come with some damn winter fresh gum.
No, I feel like I lose stats wearing these shoes and I play in them.
Bruh. Well, I don't know
My
about
shot used to be
these,
hot
bruh.
in the corner. What happened? Good Lord. You can't coach anybody wearing these.
I'm telling you right now, that thing used to cut up my ankle. Boy, listen.
Bro,
So
The
there's
size
no
was
back.
like, cut
there's,
it,
there's no
cut
back
it,
to it,
cut
or
it.
what?
Yeah.
How's the back to it? It's low.
It's low.
Man.
It's low. You either put them ankle socks to rest. Go on, get a pair out of your mama's
bet.
closet, cause
At that time, nobody was
Baby.
really wearing high ankles or mid socks. Everybody was wearing ankle socks.
Ankle socks, and I was
They're
like,
just ripping you.
ripping. You rather get your ankle ripped up than be caught without any ankle socks on.
I don't know how Hot Sauce did it. That boy never wore. He always wore ankle socks on the court.
No.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because he don't feel like water, he feel like sauce.
This just don't look comfortable.
It's,
No.
it isn't.
How you alright with Jordan like that?
Some shoes just.
Look like you're golfing them.
Some shoes just cut you.
No.
You don't wear the right socks.
They'll tear the back of your heel up. You don't wear the right socks, man.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's over.
Jordan never had a sense of style.
Huh?
Michael Jordan never had a sense of style.
Mm.
Just the shoe. There's a committee of people to come up with those designs.
Just a shoe.
Do you have an outfit? Do you have an outfit that would go with this in your closet right now? You can't even consider this retro.
It's the same colors that.
I mean, I guess you do
Backstreet
like
Boys had on in their video when it
black
was part half
black
blue,
jeans and
half black.
Black jeans?
and a black shirt.
There we go, right there.
No,
Oh,
not
God.
No.
Those look like the last shoe evolved into this shoe.
Pokemon.
Look like it has air vents.
That's
Hey, man, you had to do that, man.
Your foot going sweat.
Boy, you gotta change the filter
You
on
better
that
have
every
them
2
ankle
weeks.
socks on. The thin ones, not them thick Fruit of the Looms will not go well.
I don't feel like this shoe is finished. I feel like there's an attachment to it.
Yeah, it came out of Jordan. Definitely unfinished.
Good.
Oh my gosh.
It's like 3 different versions of felt on this thing.
It's like a Jason mask on the back, right?
It's all sweet.
That's
Why
precious.
they got basketball like dots on it? This is just not fun.
You
They were
step,
like-
on, step on carpet, you're getting shocked.
They're like, what we got?
They're like little Tic Tacs.
And like, look at the first G.
Please,
This is-
because I had them.
This is life size shoe.
Right.
This is exactly size that it came in.
Oh, it didn't feel like double G when you were wearing them.
Yo, every gym coach in high school wore these.
It's like a mascot shoe.
The mascot was wearing these when he
Yeah,
did
yeah.
Zoom.
Yeah.
Like, sign these shoes. Nah, B, I'm good. I'm gonna give like 5 more minutes of this because I'm enjoying myself. I hope you.
Oh my lord.
Yeah.
Oh,
Listen, if this don't look like the French flag.
Teasy at 13, right there.
I look so stupid wearing everything.
I never got into this. I never owned a jean or anything.
Hold on. Mike, look up the Birdman. Look
Oh.
up the Birdman lugs.
Do you remember the bird? Do you remember Birdman lugs?
No.
Yeah.
Old
Hey,
enough
side,
to
side.
remember Birdman
Fuck
look?
Master
You old enough to
Flex.
remember
The
love?
Funkmaster Flex ones.
Hey,
You said what?
Side, you want
Lugs?
to know what make it worse,
Lugs?
side?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had the wristband too.
I know
though.
what Uggs are.
I had the wristband too.
Lugs was a boot.
God, I look so stupid.
She
was
said
the
Lugs was a boot.
It was the ends of the Timberland.
You know, it sure was. It was like
It really was the answer to Timberland boots.
Yeah.
You can afford Timbs, you get lugs.
But lugs was
Like you
heavier
couldn't
than
afford
Timbs.
Adidas, you got K Swisses.
lugs
You know what I mean?
were so
yeah.
comfortable.
Lugs were heavy though.
Good God, lugs were heavy.
Close. Look at the first.
You guys remember
Do
the wheelies?
Yes.
Leo still has
Heelys,
them.
Heelys or wheelies?
Heelys.
Heelys. Those are sick.
Yeah.
You kill yourself though.
For real. You spin a little bit too hard. Oh. Done.
The
I
wheel
saw
just
Usher
came
with
out.
him, and I was like,
what?
He said, damn right.
He did that on stage. When I went to see
Oh, my
him,
bad.
he wheelie for like 10 feet.
I remember that was like
Like, oh.
in school you couldn't have the wheel or something.
Yeah, you got the
Ooh.
whole platform on the bottom of them things.
That's them.
So like a diabetes commercial.
No, you don't. You know that's an old school.
Is your blood sugar low?
I'm gonna prescribe you with a left shoe.
Remember when you used to open up them Essence magazine? You saw them things were cool.
Yeah.
Cool cigarettes.
I'm not gonna wear anything that has funk in it.
Bruh.
Funk Master Flex shoe.
It look like cigarettes.
Golly, that thing
Man,
is-
them black ones right
They look
there.
like Claire's.
Yeah.
But this is like the great introduction to FUBU magazine, bro.
They look like Steve Madden's.
It was dope. It came with a keychain with a spinner on it.
Yeah.
And I kept the keychain on the shoes.
But he threw the shoe away. He said, "Yup."
The equivalent of leaving the cap.
I
the
kept
tap
on
on
the
it.
shoe.
That's equivalent
Sticker
to
on the-
that's
sticker on the hat.
that's equivalent to like getting the prize out of the cereal and throwing the cereal away.
See, I don't even want this whole thing of Cracker Jack.
Nah,
I'm good.
I ain't eating these.
Those like they gotta add like 6 inches to your height, right?
Yeah, them Prince platforms right there.
Golly.
Yeah, they add 6 points to your blood pressure too. Look at them.
What's What's a fashion statement that you regret?
Regret?
Regret. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's a
That's almost taking
Someone's got me
as I
thinking.
said that.
I see
fashion.
anybody wearing them long tees and 5X pants again, bro.
I had those too. The throwback jersey. I had one.
Oh
throwback
yeah,
jersey.
I had the like the
You get the fight.
the big jerseys. Yeah,
Big jersey.
What-
yeah.
what
I had,
jersey?
I remember I had an Atlanta Falcons one, but it was like I was in. Yeah, I think it was elementary school.
Vic jersey was hard.
Yeah,
I feel like in Atlanta you could only wear Vic or Dion. That's the only two that's
yeah.
acceptable.
Vic was very popular. The jerseys in school. Yeah.
And around your time, yeah, because he was a cover of Madden, so everything Vic was crazy.
I was almost related.
Almost.
Oh yeah, here's a good one. I remember wearing the Shaqs.
Yeah.
Are those Walmart exclusives?
Walmart,
Or?
yeah.
People like Shaqs. I don't
Them
like them.
shoes would last so long.
Yeah.
Like, bro.
I'm so glad he made it for the kids. You can't look. You
Bro,
can't be spending
I'm telling
$200
you-
on Nikes and Jordans every time. You know. Like
I just never liked the look of them.
Okay, you go through some hard days, and you like it ain't like your style ain't popping, and that's all you got. Them shoes last forever. They were so easy to clean.
Yeah.
They would just stay clean.
Yeah.
But compared to them G-Unit sneakers, but you let one scratch on them things, it's a wrap. It's done.
That's it.
Throw them out.
yeah, it's done.
Throw them out.
You scuff one stair. You're
Yep,
done.
it's done.
You scuff one of these, they unfold like friggin' Chinese food boxes, bruh. Like, whoa, my foot.
You know, I regret jersey dresses. That phase was.
That was bad
It
too.
was a longer
It was
jersey.
a longer
Because-
jersey, but it was a dress.
I ain't gonna
man,
say that.
it
I think
was,
I've never seen
Not
that.
saying it.
Miley Cyrus wore them in that video.
Yeah, I used to have.
I'm like, we're bringing those back?
I used to have a
No.
Cardinals one, bro. Yeah. I was born in St. Louis. Don't make that face.
I'm trying to think of some other crazy ones.
You was too young. Nobody around our age did the Nelly Band-Aid thing. Nobody did that.
Mom,
I've seen that a little bit. I did see that a little bit.
That's
but-
how
People
I,
still
that's
do
how
it.
I done. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that phase was fight.
Yeah, that
you
was-
know,
that was
I
a
didn't put a
mess.
Band-Aid on nothing. but
Yeah.
a
What
scar.
about okay? So I remember in school, I remember just it was always the dudes. They'd have like the girl backpacks. I never got that.
You know, yeah.
You know? Yeah, the guys the guys thought it was cool to have the little like girl backpacks.
Little
Like
Mermaid
Barbie
and
book
stuff.
bags.
I missed out on that.
Dora.
I was confused. I was like, what?
I missed out on that completely.
The idea behind that was that the backpacks were cheaper because like JanSports were like really expensive back then. So their ideology was like, hey, we're gonna buy these like cheap backpacks so we can spend more money on clothes and stuff like that. Also, a lot of the dudes. No, I never had it. No, I never. No, I wasn't that confident in high school.
That's what you're ashamed of.
No, I'm dead serious.
Okay,
No. Anyway, plus also a lot of the dudes who wore it also played football, so like not too many people was trying them like that. So like,
Yeah.
Say something about my Phineas and Ferb backpack.
I get that, like the cheaper, but I feel like there's definitely a cheaper one that doesn't look like that. You know?
Yeah.
Because I think
they
those
didn't
were the
bargain
ones,
shop.
you know, the backpacks that they used to come with like the little keychain toy. Like those were kind of expensive, and they would have those though. Like the little unicorn hanging off the
I
side.
missed
Like,
this.
Yeah, it got to the point
Yeah.
where like they was telling people to stop doing it because the kids need backpacks too. So
Oh,
That's crazy.
Po baby.
Right.
Well, speaking of Po baby, we gotta get you back home.
all right.
Yeah. So we're gonna close this. We had a good time with you, man. I hope you enjoyed yourself. You were the first.
did.
You were the first actual episode to get the monitor, the
Ooh.
Swervetron 3000.
Yeah. Well, this is the one and only 23rd episode that there'll ever be.
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
So
Jordan.
that's
That's
me.
you.
You know?
All day, 23.
You ain't
All
Anthony
day.
Davis.
Talk about it, man.
Right.
And hey, your career is going to go great because they ain't going to milk it like they're milking out Jordan documentary, but we ain't going to talk about that because they milking that. Yeah. So,
We did 10 episodes. Here's 10 more of him after retirement. No, he's boring. I don't want to see
they
that.
like
milking
new
it. But
episodes
after
of Tiger
episode
King,
4, it's like, all right, bro, you
It's like,
wanted
yo,
your
just end
episode.
it.
Right,
All
like we know the story.
Yeah.
Carol Baskins.
I want to see you in the Wizards.
Oh my
Nobody wants that. Ugh.
that should be a goal. You guys should get Tiger King on here one day.
Ooh, I'm nervous. I still ain't watch it.
Don't be
Well,
nervous. I wonder what his song picks are, you know?
Whack.
And we've heard, I mean, he's got some music too, so, you know.
Yeah.
Yo,
it's terrible.
watch. He's going to start doing conventions and autograph signings. He's going to make a boatload of money.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They said they was letting him out anyway because you know he's old and older, and, you know,
Dirt.
dirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, where can they find you on social media, bruh?
Instagram is Austin_theory, and Twitter is AustinTheory1. And that's all my social media. That's it.
And got anything's coming up? Boom, boom. What we got?
For me, man, you know, just staying in the studio, man. I'm just working right now, man. Staying in the studio working. Writing these things, knocking out these features. Monteasy TV at Gmail. All the artists. I'm doing features till June. So anyone who does hit me up, you know, we can knock that out. And until June. After June, I'm not doing it. And, you know, make sure you guys follow me on Twitter, Instagram, Monteasy Scott, things like that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, Swerve City Podcast, and that's it. What about you, sis?
Me, I'm, you know, just enjoying life, moving, being a teacher, getting back into the studio, hopefully next month with my dog Teasy out here. Yeah. Getting myself back in shape since bulking season is over, unfortunately. Now it's time to lean back out. Swole 3.0. I think that's the number we're on
You
now.
want to talk about leaning out? You guys right here.
True.
You got questions.
I know how to lean out. But I'm
Ooh.
gonna pick his brain though. I'm swole.
I mean, he won competitions.
I mean, I completely understand. I know that.
Just one, though.
Just mind your business. That's all.
All
Just
right.
mind your business. I know how to ask questions.
Trying to inform you.
Well, thank you, boo. I appreciate you
Boom.
and all that you do.
Is this the leadership role?
Yeah, he
So-
likes to pretend he's.
Who name is Racha?
Who?
Gah.
Who the mama?
That's mama, though.
You're right.
All right. So we're done now.
With that being said, be confident in everything you do.
Wash your ass.
Oh, you gonna get a pop because I'm the mama.
Mama. Jean.
And buy the album.
Yeah, stream the album, buy the album from Humble Beginnings. It's on Spotify, iTunes. Yeah, stream it.
Yeah, cop that. Cop
Yeah.
that. That's me with the big head if you ain't noticed. Him.
Yeah,
that's
stream
me.
the album so we can get.
It's my bike, punk, looking at this kid.
Yo, shout out to the designer, because Lord, he got the 5 arms.
I'm about to
That
say.
boy 9 with an arm, boy.
I got 9
Boy,
ready
he
to
over
cock
here
it.
looking like Theory with the arm, boy.
All
Look
I'm
at
saying is that why is he in all white though? He like he about to go to a baptism. That's
No,
what I'm just trying to say.
I look like I joined the cult.
No, it look like you about to go.
Do any of you guys still have these socks with the gray and the white?
Oh no, I don't
do?
got white socks. Period.
Oh, I just have all black socks.
Same. I got some grays and greens.
I said,
I ain't even wearing socks.
you got white thick socks to go around the house so you don't catch a cold.
Oh,
Oh, because I'm a mom.
catch
That's why.
Corolla. Don't catch that Corolla.
See, I'm wearing the Jewel's t-shirt right here. See, look at that.
boy, you look like Jesus back on earth, bro.
You got the halo around and everything.
That ass.
You said I told you I was coming back, didn't I?
I look
For real.
like,
I look like
I look
the-
like divorce and stress over here, bro. Look at him.
This is past prom teasy. What up, y'all? How's
What up,
everything
y'all?
going?
What up?
Y'all want to hear Broke Boys again?
heaven and be an entertainer again. You on your millionth performance.
No, it look like he's like, all right, I got this new song I'm gonna sing, and somebody in the crowd said, "Sing I'm the man."
Sing Broke Boys. And then look, here you come.
There's a face. I'm doing this shit for my history. Nothing but listen to
That's what I look like. I look like I'm on album number 2000, just finally getting my break. Finally. 42.
You about to do Baby A's Kids too.
He like he looked at the crowd. Are you ready?
Rule, baby.
I guess
not.
You like you rapping. I look like I'm mad that you're rapping my verses. But like,
For real though.
he cut me off.
My Lord have mercy.
He cut me off.
Goodness gracious. Why you look so old in your baby picture? Yo.
Swerve nostrils mature as hell, but
Look, he gave my dude no upper lip. Look at that.
You
She
look,
ain't got no upper lip.
you look like Derek Luke.
boy, I look like one of them.
With all the teeth.
Boy, I swear to God, boy, I look like one of them YMCA kids. Bad as hell, but
You
look at
do.
him. Look at him.
You do.
Bad.
Oh my
And why my dog gave me the damn turquoise pants? Look at it, like a damn rainbow. Look at it.
You the one always sitting in the principal chair like
You got the
calling your mama and shit.
Yo, you got the different world shirt on.
You the kid who used to always get in trouble in art club, huh?
Yeah. After school, I was
After
always
school
in
program.
detention.
How you get in trouble on after school activities?
Right.
You're not supposed to.
We call him still in pickles again.
He don't share. He think everything his.
Look.
Swerve built like my mom doesn't let me eat dairy.
Let's button all the way up
What's
to
in
the
your
top.
pantry?
I have celery, peanut butter, apple juice,
Right.
and fresh baked chicken. I don't eat the kids' lunch with everybody else.
His mama don't let him play aside at all. He got the fist balled up and everything. He look mean as hell.
Yeah, I sat in the back of the bus looking like this.
Oh my
Oh
goodness.
my god.
And,
Nobody
and at
share
this
with you.
very moment, that figure was thrown at my head.
For real. Well, you can always tell. When
This used to be yours. I took it from you though.
What bot?
Yo, the person who button up is always tucked in. You always gotta watch out for them.
I got this new action figure doll. I got a new action figure doll.
That's my chain. Look.
What chain?
What chain?
Oh, man.
All right.
Spotify, iTunes,
Yeah.
cop that out,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
Now that we done roasted our own album cover,
Right. Mm-hmm.
you know, make sure you buy it. The album's good at least.
Look, this is what
Laugh
I
to
say.
keep from
Everything's the
crying.
same. Negative and
Absolutely.
positive comments.
Yeah, I make fun of y'all. I make fun of me too.
Right. Big Rolex win.
Check it out, bro. When you get time, man.
check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. Man.
No, I will.
Shirt with a collar on that bed.
Right. Harass.
Button go down to here.
How I got an undershirt under mine?
You do. You always gotta have an undershirt. You can always tell the kids you sweating the most.
Bad as hell. Look at it. I got an undershirt under my neck red as hell.
Peter Pan looking at him. Never laying there.
Forehead is glistening.